everybody, Ellen here. Today I come to you guys with my September book haul. I've already filmed and uploaded my manga haul, so this one will be strictly books. And let me tell you, there's a lot. So we're going to start off with counting them, and then I'm going to tell you guys what I bought and what they're about. So I've bought 18 books. Technically I bought 17 because one is a review book from the publisher, but there's still 18 books, and that's a lot because I don't read 18 books a month anymore. So hey. First book I actually got in this month's in August Fairloot, and that is Merciful Crow by Margaret Owen. We meet this character named Fee, something like that, and Faye is actually this future chieftain, and she's shunned of a shunned castle of mercy killers. She relies on her wits and her bone magic drawn from teeth of dead witches. And that sounds really gross, but she discovers that the crown prince Jasimir and his crafty bodyguard have faked their own deaths to escape the ruthless queen Rusana, and she's ready to cut her losses and perhaps their throats. But Jas offers a deal that she can't refuse: make sure he lives to see the throne, and he'll protect the crowns when he reigns. Sort of forges an alliance between them, and shit happens. And then we have a children's book for the ages, I think, 6 to 9. Monstret Frank by Mats Strandberg, and the illustrated Sofia Falkenhem. And Mats Strandberg is actually one of the few Swedish authors I actually follows. I buy everything he writes, and this actually came out a few years ago, but this is the first time it comes out like in a collector's volume. It's actually 3 books made into one, and it has really beautiful illustrations, but I haven't read it yet, and I really do because it looks so cute, and you know, it's Mats Strandberg. We follow Frank, and he turns 9 years old, and something happens to turn his life upside down. The neighbor Alice's dog Uffe gets so excited that he accidentally bites Frank in his hand, and after that Frank actually starts dreaming this really weird dreams, and in the dream he's actually covered in fur, and he runs on 4 legs and stuff like that, and he also wants to be pet and, you know, got a bottle rub and stuff like that, but he wonders why everybody gets so scared. So it sounds really cute. I've heard great things about it, and I really want to pick this one. Then we have How to Make a Wish by Ashley Erin Blake. So we meet Grace, and has narrowly given up on wishes thanks to a shadow spent with her unpredictable, larger-than-life mother. And then we meet Maggie, who drinks too much and uproots their lives for every new boyfriend who just might be the one. Grace dreams of performing at Carnegie Hall, but how can she leave her mother behind to study piano in a college when it's always been Grace and Maggie against the world? Then Grace meets Eva, a girl who believes in dreams despite her own tragic circumstances. One fateful summer evening, Eva climbs through a window in Grace's room, setting off a chain of stolen nights on the beach. When Eva tells Grace that she likes girls, Grace's world opens up, and she allows herself to feel truly happy for the first time. And shit happens. So this definitely has LGBTQ rep, and I'm really looking forward to reading this. Then we have The Girl Who Drank the Moon by Kelly Barnhill, and this has actually won prizes. It's a New York Times bestseller and winner of the Newbery Medal from 2017. And it says, there's magic in starlight, of course. This is well known. Moonlight, however, that's a different story. Moonlight is magic. Ask anyone you like. So every year, people of the protectorate leave a baby as a sacrifice to a witch that lives in the woods, but the witch San is actually kind, and she rescues children and delivers them to welcoming families on the other side of the forest. She nurses the babies with starlight on the journey, but one year San accidentally feeds a baby on moonlight instead of starlight, filling the ordinary child with extraordinary magic, and San decides that she must raise the girl herself, whom she calls Luna. I feel like my cat is represented in a lot of books these days. As Luna's 13th birthday approaches, her magic begins to emerge with dangerous and thrilling consequences. So this has really great ratings on Goodreads. I'm really looking forward to reading it, and also it sounds very different from other middle grades, so I really want to read it soon. Then we actually have a graphic novel, unusual, I know, because I don't read a lot of them, because I have really hard time to find ones I will actually like, but I'm gonna try to find some more like, but this is The Witch Boy by Molly Knox Ostertag. And in this one, even magic has rules. Everyone in As's family is born with magic. Boys grow up to be shapeshifters, girls into witches, no exceptions. But the thing is that Asher, she doesn't want to hang out with the shape-shifting gang. He wants to be a witch. He wants to be able to practice magic and everything like that. But since boys are not supposed to do that, shit is about to happen. But I do really like the art style and everything like that, and it's actually quite chunky graphic novels, over 200 pages. We have Ivy Aberdeen's Letter to the World by Ashley Aaron Blake. I have like 4 of her books now and I haven't read a single one. But they all have great ratings, so I can't help but buy them. But it starts off with, is this what a crush feel like? A constant stomach ache, a bubbly feeling in your fingertips. When a tornado rips through town, 12-year-old Ivy Aberdeen's house is destroyed and her family of 6 is displaced. Ivy feels invisible and ignored in the aftermath of the storm, and what's worse, her notebook filled with secret drawings and girls holding hands has gone missing. Mysteriously, Ivy's drawings begin to reappear in her locker with notes from someone telling her to open up about her identity. Ivy thinks and hopes that this someone might be her classmate, a girl on whom Ivy has begun to develop a crush. Will Ivy find the strength and courage to follow her true feelings? This is a middle grade novel. It has LGBTQ rep, so we definitely need more LGBTQ rep in middle grade books, and I think it's awesome that they started to appear more and more. So I'm really looking forward to reading this one. It's actually a second book in the series when I haven't read the first one, but I do own it. But I haven't read it. This is In Practice by Connie Glynn. This is the second book, like I said, in this series called Undercover Princess, I think. I don't want to read spoilers on the back. But the first book pretty much means 2 girls, this is a middle grade novel, 2 girls who actually look extraordinarily much alike, and they switch places because one of them is princess and one is a ordinary girl, but the princess actually wants to be able to do like ordinary things, and the other girl has always dreamt of being a princess, so they end up switching places and shit happens, and I love that trope. I love switching places, sort of like Freaky Friday kind of, and I also love the royals trope, so I'm really looking forward to reading this series. We have a book I've been wanting to read for so long, but I finally own it. That is Wilder Girls by Rory Power. I think this is supposed to be a standalone. It's been 18 months since the Raxter School for Girls was put under quarantine, since the talks hit and pulled Hetty's life out from under her. So it started kind of slow. The teachers started dying and everything. Some students started to get infected and they started to grow weird things out of their bodies. And they were actually left in quarantine, and the outside world promised that they will come up with a cure so that they can leave the school and everything like that. But now they're feeling kind of forgotten and nobody's helping them and stuff like that. So when Hetty's best friend Bayat goes missing, she actually decides to go out into the forest and try to find her. So shit is about to go down, and this is like the most gorgeous cover in the history of covers. So yeah, I really want to read it soon. And then, like I said, I love the royals trope. So we have American Royals by Catherine McGee, and I mean, look at those pages, it's beautiful. So this is a sort of what would have happened if the Washingtons actually, you know, became the monarchs of America. So this takes place when the Washingtons have ruled America for almost 250 years, and we meet the heir, who is Princess Beatrice, who knows duty to the crown comes before else. The spare is Princess Samantha, whose only duty is to party hard. We have the schemer, who is Daphne Dayton, who will do anything to get back into royal favor. And then the nobody, who is Nina Gonzalez, who's unwillingly about to steal the spotlight. Welcome to the world of American royals. So, you know, what would have happened if America had royals? And like I said, I love the royal trope, so I'm really looking forward to reading this one. And also, the pages are so beautiful. And then lately, I've been wanting to pick up some more historical fiction. So this is The Downstairs Girl by Stacey Lee, and she looks so sad, but it's so beautiful and simple at the same time. We meet 17-year-old Ju Kwon, and she works as a lady's maid for the cruel daughter of one of the wealthiest men in Atlanta. But by night, Jo molas as the pseudonym's author of a newspaper advice columnist for a genteel southern lady, Dear Miss Sweetie. When her column becomes widely popular, she uses the power of the pen to address some of society's ills, but she is not prepared for the backlash that follows when her column challenges fixed ideas about race and gender. While her opponents clamour to uncover the secret identity of Miss Sweetie, a mysterious letter sets Jo off on a search for her own past and the parents who abandoned her as a baby. But when her efforts put her in the crosshairs of Atlanta's most notorious criminal, Jo must decide whether she, a girl who used to living in the shadows, is ready to step into the light. One of my most anticipated releases of this year, because I've heard so many things about it when people started getting the arcs. But this is Serpent and Dove by Shelby Maurin. Sorry if I butchered that. This is quite chunky actually, but it's so beautiful. So this is supposed to be, I don't really know a lot about it, but I don't really want to know a lot about it. So we meet a witch and a witch hunter, and they actually ends up having to get married to like cover their tracks and everything like that. And the witch hunter doesn't know that he just married a witch, and I mean shit gets complicated. They have to figure out what else going on, and maybe they will start liking each other for real. So I've heard great things about it, so I really hope I like it because I'm waiting so long for it. We have Varken by Lisa Förare. This is a book I got from the publisher called Louise Beckelin Förlag, and we meet this girl named Sarah, and she can actually read people's thoughts. She's very sensitive when it comes to different smells, and that is something she's always sort of looked at really like really just complicated and just annoying overall. But then her sister Gabriella actually disappears for 2 years. She's always lived kind of a hard life, hasn't given a shit about anything, so they pretty much just think that she's, you know, she disappeared on her own. But then this girl called Louise from this organization called Pro Bonum starts to contact Sarah and promise her information about Gabriella, that maybe she didn't leave on her own, maybe not willingly, and she starts to get really interested in trying to find out what happened to her sister. And then 3 girls in the age of 10 actually starts disappearing, and Sarah decides that she must help out and try to find these girls, and also, you know, evolve them, and also try to figure out the mystery around her sister. So this actually sounds really interesting, and it is also signed by the author. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to reading this one. And then I really wanted to get into historical fiction, and I've heard great things about this one, and also look at the spine, it's so beautiful. But this is The Nightingale by Kristen Hanna, and this is actually sold the multi-million #1 New York Times bestseller. And this is, like I said, a historical fiction, and it was also named Goodreads Best Historical Novel of the Year, so that's nice. So this story is about what it's like to be a woman during the war, when women's stories are all too often forgotten or overlooked. So The Nightingale tells the story of 2 sisters separated by years and experience, by ideals, passion and circumstance, each embarking on her own dangerous path towards survival, love and freedom in the war-torn France. It's a heartbreakingly beautiful novel. So then I have Solitaire by Alice Oseman. I feel like I'm collecting all of her books, but the only books I've actually read by her are Volume 1 and Volume 2 of the graphic novel Heartstopper. But I do own all of her novels, but I haven't actually read any of them, but I've heard great things about them. We meet Tori Spring, who likes to sleep and likes to blog. Last year she had friends, but things were very different, and that's all over now. And now there's Solitaire and Michael Holden, and I don't know what Solitaire are trying to do. I don't care about Michael Holden, I really don't. And that's all it says on the back, so I really like this cover, so now my books will match. I like that. And then we have There's Something About Sweetie by Sundar Menon. This is the companion novel, I think, to When Dimple Met Rishi, which is a book I really enjoyed. So we meet Ashish Patel and He didn't know love could be so sucky. He recently broke up with his girlfriend, and his parents always told him that they could help him find a girl that is better than the ones he's had. And so after he's getting dumped, he actually decides to take his parents up on that. He wants them to set him up. And now we have Sweetie Niar, and she's a Formula track athlete, a lawyer friend, a shower singing champion. Oh, and she's fat, which to her traditional parents is the kiss of death. Sweetie loves her parents, but she's so tired of being told she's lacking, it's time to show the world and herself what she's really made of. And shit happens when they get thrown in together. Then we have The City of Brass, Be Careful What You Wish For. And this is written by C.A. Chakraborty. So in the markets of 18th century Cairo, thieves, tricksters, con artists, and outcast eke out a living swinging rich nobles and foreign invaders alike. But alongside this new world, the old stories linger, tales of jinn and spirits, of cities hidden among the swirling sands of desert, full of enchantment, desire, and riches, where magic pours down every street, hanging in the air like dust. Many wish their lives could be filled with wonder, but not Nahiri. She knows the trades she uses to get by are just tricks and sleights of hand. There's nothing magical about her. She only wishes to do one day leave Cairo, but as the saying goes, be careful what you wish for. Now we have Saints and Misfits by S.K. Ali. This was the William C. Morris Debut Award finalist for the American Library Association. And in this one they say that there are three kinds of people in the main character's life. It's saints, it's misfits, and it's monsters. And that's pretty much all I know, but I don't really need to know more. But it seems really interesting. I've heard great things about this book, so hopefully I will like it. Very last book is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I think everybody's heard about this by now, but this pretty much follows the band called Daisy Jones and the Six, and they're telling the story of how they got famous and then how they broke up and stuff like that. And it's written in interview format, which is interesting. The hype is real, and you just want to check it out.